Welcome, everyone, to the next installment of the Archaic Revival podcast. In this episode, I'd like to cover the walls that surround our lives and what we paint on them. If I look at the walls of my own life, what I see are stories of great measures through history, through current history, and through the future. And how all of these things come together is a notion of simplicity, shall I say, because it brings you into the eternal here and now. Right here, the felt presence of immediate experience will catch you and tell you all you need to know about archaic revivification, because that is where all the action happened, and that is where the world and its double congregates, and we function out of that space and time collectively, gathering all the information we need to make our next decisions in life and what decisions should or shouldn't be made. For it really struck a chord with me looking back, because in the past I have painted my walls with a bunch of weird sayings like dreams have never made my bed, and it'll always be the 7th of November, which was just like some random thing that meant the world to me. And well, let's go to the dreams that never made my bed then, because the dreams that have never made my bed, that's a song lyric from Audio Slave, or is it? Yeah, must be Audio Slave. I don't know, but Chris Cornell sings it, and he says that dreams have never made his bed. And I guess this is what this comes down to. If this podcast is but a dream, and I'm living it right now, then it is making my bed for me, because I'm taking the risk, I'm taking the punch, I'm taking the blow to get into my mind that the bed that I sleep in is the bed that I have to make in the mornings when I wake up as well, and open back up again at night just to go to sleep. So I guess dreams don't ever make your bed unless you pursue them. And that is some pure wisdom that comes through from Chris Cornell, rest his soul. But that is a story for another day and not a story for this podcast. But seeing as I'm a musician and I have played some of his songs, I'd just like to say that his spirit is as alive and kicking as it was since the day he started. What a champion. Now, furthermore, I've been spending a lot of time digesting this podcasting world that I'm stepping into. This is why this next episode took so long to come out. And this is why, if you look at my Spotify page and my YouTube page, it's kind of like a bit confusing. It's because I released the official second episode on Spotify, which I recorded a while ago. And I've released 4 episodes on YouTube, one of 8 minutes and one of like 12, 13 minutes and one of like 27 minutes. So it's quite strange to link all this together, but I'm going to try and move on from trying to number these podcasts and just try and release them as in the fashion of which it is in YouTube and for how it is on Spotify. So if you're confused about that, don't worry about it. Just enjoy the show. So, funny enough, let's go back to the walls. So recently, I've been, excuse me, I just had to step away for a second. So, what it comes down to, what's on my wall these days is, last night I had the encounter of casting the consulting the I Ching on a variety of planes, but in this archaic plane, the invisible landscape, all of that, you know, and I had to cast the I Ching to make sense of this phenomenon, just to stand my ground in the pursuit of my podcasting uh, audience, to satisfy their needs, even if it doesn't even maybe need it. But what I got was the containment of potential from the I Ching. And what that meant was, at that moment in time, there was a lot of fussing and turning and a lot of turmoil within these realms of unspeakable power and futuristic implications that befall them generally. The thing that broke the tension was the containment of potentiality, and that is out of the I Ching, which if you want to read more about the I Ching, you can talk to Chinese people about it or anything like that, or do your own research on it. It's basically a hexagram of 64. It's a 64 hexagram set of numbers and straight of broken and unbroken lines, which casts a hexagram of 6 sides, which is to consult it, you can take a coin and choose heads as the broken lines and tails as the unbroken lines, and then you cast the coin heads, and then you start from the bottom up and you draw 6 lines, and then you consult the I Ching, you find the hexagram, you go online, you search 15th hexagram of the I Ching, and you will get a passage, and that is to break the tension. Last night, what happened was I casted and I got up with the containment of potential, which helped me tremendously in that moment, because at that time I felt like people were losing faith in me and thinking that I wasn't talking about something that made sense at all. But casting the containment of potential really did save my ass. So yeah, that was recently on my wall about a day ago, and yeah, but I mean, like, I've got like Radio Gaga, like all we hear is Radio Gaga, Radio Goo Goo, Radio Gaga. That's just what it comes down to. It's just a radio. We radio with each other, and now I'm broadcasting here solo with no interruptions from anyone. Which is a lovely, lovely feeling, I must admit. And I bring great grace to my listeners for tuning into my channel, and I'll end up strong with a hot topic of debate, which comes down to, let's say, the containment of potential. Let's see where that takes us when we look at our society at large today. We see the containment of potential as a everything you could be, but you're trying actively not to be that. Or for the worst part, I believe, for the most part, I believe people don't even know what their potential is until they unleash it. That is what the containment of potential means, to my sense. And I look at a lot of public officials, people who work day-to-day jobs, people who think that they're just little old me, as Alan Watts would say. These people consume and eradicate and distill and appropriate their lives and propagate their ideas briefly, without regard to functionality or prosperity or potentiality. And in a sense, that has become no issue whatsoever. The issue only comes in when when you believe that someone knows about this world we live in archaic revival, in the archaic revival, people know about this world and then they honestly just misuse it and abuse it and use it for dark forces, for the shaman once said by Terence McKenna, he practices all religions because he encounters them every single day of his life. He encounters all religions. Not all in one day, but all throughout his life, throughout his travels, and throughout his world. I don't claim to be a shaman. I don't want to be one, but I can tell you this, I'll end on the strongest note of all. On the containment of potential, Terence McKenna said that most often the women are the best shaman out there. And ladies, don't let these gentlemen try and put ears on you because you can hear very well, and I know you can. Guys, listen to your girls. And let's go. Yeah, let's go, motherfuckers. This is how it's going to go from now on. This is the Archaic Revival podcast. This is me signing off. Have a good day. Love you all. Blessed.